Showtime segment for all things musicals, and today it's a real special show because we are going to be doing Winnie the Pooh. I knew you were going to try and do this. So let's bring up some of the characters. Are they all there? Yeah, everybody. Eeyore. Stop it! Let's take a... We're bringing them all up, are we? Pooh, of course. We've got Pooh. There's one more. There is Piglet. Go down there and play with them. You might bring them up late with the cat section, but we'll see. Knew he was going to do that. Oh, right, okay, we're going to go straight into it. We're going to now talk you through what I loved about this wonderful show. Yeah, and my first ever full-blown puppet musical, which I have to say is was a real treat and a bit of an anxiety moment to it as well. Never done a full-blown puppet musical before. Obviously, I've seen musicals where some characters have been puppets, like obviously, and like in other Disney musicals, like The Lion King with Zazu. Can we count Pumbaa and Timor as well? I think we can maybe count them as well. And then potentially Frozen. You could also argue Olaf. But I've never really seen a musical where all the ensemble, all the cast is done by puppets. And I have to say, it was really, really interesting to watch. And I think we'll stay on the Catsman. I don't think you really notice the actors are there. Because the characters, they are all designed brilliantly. In fact, let me see if I can find it in the book. Because I've got the book here with me to help out the musical number section later on. And I have to say, this is a very interesting take on the programme, by the way. It's half programme, half storybook. So, let me see if I can find it to show you for those who are watching by the show. But yeah, it was really interesting to see the characters all there. And it all looked really like their respective characters. It was just absolutely amazing. So, here we are. So, you've got... So there you go. There's Pooh. And then we've got the rest of the cast up here. We're trying to see that in closer. There you go, rest of the cast there. So yeah, interesting. But I don't think you could hardly tell the puppeteers were there. The actors, not puppeteers. I don't think you could really tell the actors were kind of there. But to see how they were done is absolutely brilliant. Because that was the one thing sort of this one is playing with his merch down here. My beloved cat is a little bit anxious about it. But I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. We all know it's Winnie the Pooh. It's gonna be great. And it was. And how they managed to get the voices to sound like their respective character was just amazing. Because it's not that easy to do, to try and do the different... In fact, should we get him up? Hello? Right. Wait to come up and put up there. Right. Could you try and do the voices of different characters? Right, like now. So give me Tigger. They're not sounds, the actual words. Oh. No, don't be that card. Okay, what about Pooh? Can you do A though? Let's see. You can't try. So you don't. What about Pooh? Nah. Piglet. What about Eel? No, you're not going to try and dare do that. No, there you go. But was there a point to that? Yeah, I just wanted to prove to people how hard it is to do those characters' voices. You can go back and play as the cats, that's fine. There you go, it can be quite, as just put in there, it can, although I think he's not happy, I've just used him as a lab rat. No! I'm gonna get it later. I can feel it. Yeah, it's not easy to do those characters' voices yet. They are so infamous characters. They've been around for at least a century now, maybe even more. So the fact they were the actors were able to get the voices done right was absolutely amazing. I think that helps, to sort of, if like my brother kind, you're a bit nervous about it, it kind of helps to ease the tension a bit. To go, yeah, there's so and so, there's Pooh, there's Kanga, there's Rabbit, although Rabbit looked really, really creepy. That's what interesting about the characters is 80% of them were how we are used to seeing them. Owl and Rabbit were the exceptions, and oh my god, Owl creeped me out. Owl literally creeped me out when he first came on. I was like, oh my god. And that character was like, what the hell is that? Watch where you're stuck with Owl. And then Rabbit, it was a bit, I didn't know what to make, but when Rabbit began speaking and his personality came out, I was like, yeah, that's Rabbit. I think the idea behind Rabbit and Owl was it was supposed to be how they were in the book. Would you agree on that, Pluto? Would you agree that Rabbit and Owl were designed to look how they were in the book? I think they were, yeah, right, okay, yeah. Because when I was like, oh, who's this? And then I was like, it's Rabbit. It didn't look like Rabbit that we're used to. I mean, I have read the book, but it's been years. But yeah, so Rabbit and Owl, they were kind of the ones I wasn't too sure on in terms of how they looked, but when they began doing their lines and doing their dialogue, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's said character. That's quite brilliant. Music-wise, though, I don't feel we really got that much in terms of music. For me, this felt more like a show you would expect to see in Disneyland than on a West End stage. Because it's only an hour long, and that, I think... Afterwards, Pluto and I, we had a good conversation about the show, and we both felt the characters were not used properly. Because Pooh is pretty much on for, I'd say, 80% of the time. There's very, very rarely moments where Pooh is not on the stage. Pooh's there for a large chunk of the time. The rest are kind of like supporting characters. You don't see that much of Kanga. You don't see that much of Roo. You don't see that much of Owl or Rabbit. Tigger gets a fair chunk. Piglet gets a fair chunk. Although we're not sure if Eeyore got a fair chunk, yet he was part of the merch. They're bringing him up. They're bringing him up. Yeah, we weren't too sure if Eeyore got a fair chunk. But you felt you didn't. No, should have seen more Eeyore. Yeah. So the characters weren't really utilised that well. And given how it's only one act, that kind of makes it all the more harder to get all the characters on for a amount of time. So we kind of felt this this really should have been like a 2-act musical. I mean, I've been at plenty of Disney on Ice shows over the years. Kids can manage a 2-act show, okay? But it was a really short production. It was only an hour. We thought it could have been longer. We thought it should have at least stretched to a 2-act show. But we also kind of felt most of the characters weren't utilised that well. Story-wise, though, it was quite great. You go through all 4 seasons of the year. So it's autumn, winter, spring, summer. That was great. We just felt it was a bit too short. And we kind of felt the characters should be utilised a bit better in the production. Because there was hardly a moment when Pooh wasn't on. So in terms of musical numbers, it's going to be tricky later on because they weren't really musical numbers. It's basically just songs from various Winnie the Pooh media. Tigger's song was there. We got it twice. We got Tigger's song twice. We got Tigger's song. Can't believe that. Yeah. But it was such a wonderful production. And, you know, you literally did feel like you were in the 100 Acre Wood. And in terms of the poetry, I thought it was done brilliantly well. And when I was watching it, I didn't really pay attention to the people working the characters. I was just focused on, look, there's Pooh, there's Kanga, there's there's Eeyore, and oh, is that Rabbit? And oh my god, what's that from Ow? Ow could literally take someone's eye out with that. Woo! Watch that wingspan. Yeah, but it's just a wonderful production. Yeah, so it's really short. Could have been done a bit longer. They could have really stretched it to 2 acts. We thought the characters needed a bit more fair share of the what do we call it on stage? Not screen time. They need more time on stage each. Because really, it's kind of like 80% of the time was for Pooh, and Pooh is lovely. I love the design, but I also want to see some of the other characters as well. Because I'm not just there to see Winnie the Pooh. I'm there to see the whole gang. Yeah, but that's my thing. That's my thing. I'm pleased about Steve all the time. Yeah, and all the scene was lovely. The way they did those scene changes, they were kind of done brilliantly as well. It's just, and every time each new character made their first appearance, it was one of those moments when you see this, like, oh my god, you can't believe what you're seeing is coming onto the stage. So it kind of felt like you watched a little moment. Although I will tell you one funny little story. Al and Tigger, and I maybe I should say this is the cat section, but Al and Tigger, when they both come on to their first for the first time, they both do a laugh off the stage. And on the first one, I thought, okay, here comes Tigger. And then the next bit thing you see, oh my god, it's Al? I was like, but their laughs were both the same. And it's just like, oh. Because I was like, oh, I thought it was Tigger. And then the second time around, it was Tigger. So that was a little fun. So I don't know if anyone else has done that. When you first have that, you think it's Tigger's coming, but actually no, it's Al. But yeah, that was great because they both had a very similar laugh to one another. But that was quite hilarious. So when Tigger came, I was like, oh, here it is! Can't make the same mistake twice, but didn't. But yeah, but it was really, really, really lovely. But yeah, so first full-blown puppet musical, interesting. I'm not sure I would want to see them more often. I mean, for Winnie the Pooh, it's fine, but for me, I don't think really that's sort of my cup of tea. But because it was Winnie the Pooh, I thought, I'll make an exception. How else were we going to do it? How else were we going to go do the show? I mean, you could have done it like how they were done in Disneyland, but no, I think it was interesting. But I kind of thought this is actually something that really should have been something you would expect to see in Disneyland, in one of the theatres, in a Disneyland across the six resorts, especially in an hour. So I've been to plenty of other shows in my life, especially for kids. Even some of my children's TV shows that I watched as a kid have toured across the UK, and they were at least 2 acts. So I think kids can, and I've already mentioned this, of course, on Ice. I think kids can port with 2 acts. So I just felt this needed a little bit. I would have loved it to be a little bit more longer, just so we could appreciate a bit more and see more the characters a bit more, because Pooh dominated. Pooh really dominated. But all in all, it was a lot of production. There's been a little tiny little things here and here that you could do just to make it that a little bit. Alright, so we're going to now move on to the musical numbers. But like I said, this is going to be quite tricky because for this production, in terms of musical numbers, it's actually classic songs that you have seen from various Winnie the Pooh media. And in fact, I've got the, what do we call it? Storybook? What are we calling this? Storybook program? I've got it with me to help me out. So there's a little section on the music, so I'll quickly read you this little section from the storybook. Okay, it's about the music. So our show features many of the original songs written by Richard M. and Robert B. Richard M. and Robert B. Sherman, who wrote most of the music for the Winnie the Pooh franchise over the years. Starting initially with 3 featurettes, the first 2 of which Walt Disney produced himself. They were then amalgamated into Pooh's first feature-length film, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It was released in 1967. Off note, the third Winnie the Pooh featurette, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2, which was released 2 years before The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in 1975, earned the Sherman Brothers a Grammy Award for Best Album for Children and many other awards. With a new orchestral score, the music in our stage show pays homage to all the great Winnie the Pooh musical history, including 1980s animated series New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, not familiar with that, the Tigger movie, which was released in 2000, and then Piglet's Big Movie, released in 2003. The Tigger movie was an award-winning return of the Sherman Brothers writing for Disney after a 28-year absence. Also included in the show are Pooh's hums. These are songs that Pooh makes up himself, originally written by author A.A. Milne. And yeah, you do see... can I Pooh up? Thank you. You do see throughout the show, Pooh does a lot of different hums, and they are quite iconic. So yes, there you go, coming back. Okay, so I'm going to use the storybook tablet here. So we have in this show, I should say. I don't know why I'm getting tongue on this segment. In this show, we have the following songs. So the songs by the Sherman Brothers featured are Winnie the Pooh, Blustery Day, The Wonderful Thing About Tiggers, Whoop-de-Doo Bounce, which is from that is from the Tigger movie. Whoop-de-Doo Bounce, a reprise of that. Rumbly in My Tummy, Rumbly in My Tumbly. You get a reprise, as I already mentioned, you get it twice. The Wonderful Thing About Tiggers reprise, and you get a reprise of Winnie the Pooh. Rumbly in My Tumblies, is that from the Piglet's Big Movie? It might be. We'll check that in a moment. Right, and then Winnie the Pooh's hums. So you got The More It Snows, Tiddly Pom. Sing Ho for the Life of a Bear. Then Up, Down, Touch the Ground. That was quite a hilarious moment. Yeah, that was quite a hilarious moment there, because it's like Pooh, he was trying to get honey, didn't get honey. He's about to do his exercise, and then it's like he very futilely does it. It's quite hilarious moment there. But yeah, so we've not really got any new numbers, which is what you expect if you're going to adapt something into musical. No new numbers. So various different songs from various different Winnie the Pooh numbers. I'll let you know who is featured in each number as well. So in Winnie the Pooh you have the chorus, and you just have Pooh on the stage. This I thought was a missed opportunity to get all of the cast onto the stage, because we all know how the song goes. You know, deep in the holiday where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find the enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days. And one by one, each character gets referenced. I feel there was a missed opportunity there to then have all the characters then come up one by one. You got Pooh, that was it. Pooh was the only one that came up. And I felt missed opportunity to get everybody a lot, to have like a little quick look, and then they'll go off and be back in their respective scenes. So so as each character gets reference, they should all come up. So, for instance, let's do it. Let's go for the song. And then it should have, and then you should have carried the song, and each character comes up. So, your favourite goes first! So it should have then been Donkey named Eeyore is his friend. So now Eeyore come up. Then Kangaroo and Little Roo. So those two they should come up. And Tigger too. So then Tigger should come up after Kangaroo. There's a rabbit and Piglet. They should come up. And then there's Owl. They should come up. And then finally there's the more Winnie the Pooh. So I kind of felt they all should have come up at each point they get referenced in the song. And it's a great. And then you could have had, like how at Curtain Call, they all could do a curtain call, which should have been like they all should have just quickly say hello and then go off again. And then carry on the rest of the song with Pooh. So, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Something you copy yourself, develop these Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the silly old man. Missed opportunity there to have all the cast up. The open number. Alright, Blustery Day again. This was just not with the chorus featuring Pooh. It's a great moment to feature the blustery element, you know, set up the first theme, which is the autumn theme. So quite nice in there. Pooh's hum that comes up next. The more it snows, as well. Pooh's hum, and again, like with a blustery day, a nice way to sort of set in the next scene. Scene 2 being winter. Seeing Pooh there with Piglet. That was quite. Nice. I don't think I'm familiar with that number from the more it's snow. Because a lot of Pooh's hums was like trying to think, do I recognise it, don't recognise it? That one I don't think I did recognise it, so that was nice. But there. They had to sing Ho for the Life of the Bear, again a lot of Pooh's hums. Which just featured Pooh, the chorus. And of course Tigger's number. What I thought was really funny about Tigger's number, you know the song, all about Tigger's, is draw him out. Go on, I'm not. What I thought was really funny about when they did Tigger's number is, I'm fine. Come on, Tigger. What I thought was really fun, and I'm for a repeat myself here, but what I thought was really funny about Tigger's number is before it started on both times, everyone was like, he's gonna do the song. Can you ever heard said it each time, Pluto? First one was Pooh. Repeat AR. Thank you. Yeah, so before Tigger starts singing the first note, yeah, one of the cats go, he's gonna do the song. And you're like, oh, there we go. Oh my god, Tigger just literally just made look at the room when he did it. It's like, oh my god, so energetic. Yeah, because you're so full of energy there. We'll stay with you, Tigger. Because there's the whoop-de-doo bounce, which of course is from the Tigger movie. You had that number Tigger, Pooh, Roo, and Rabbit. It's a really, really fast-paced song. I mean, whenever I try to sing it, I literally just like struggle to keep up. Because it is that so fast-paced. And literally in the show, it really was like a really fast. It was like, whoa, I was like, whoa, slow down. Take your time here. So now we've got no rush. Got nowhere else to go. You don't need to brush it that quick. But yeah, but it was like a really, yeah, there you go. It's a really, really fast one. It's going back to you. It's a really, really fast number. Is there anyone we haven't mentioned? There's not that many. We just go through. Okay, yep, yep. The normal one to this. It's the best cupboard. Rumley in my tumbly. We've not covered that one. That of course featured Pooh. Classic Pooh number there. Basically Pooh to talk about high stomachs need a bit of honey. Oh, it just got up, down, touch the ground cover. Like I said, that was a really funny little moment because it's like Pooh, he's just built really sad. He's not got honey. He starts doing some exercise. It's really when you see him just like hunch over like that. It was really funny. It's like oh, but that was quite a hilarious moment in the show. So yes, I think that's all the musical numbers covered there. I'm not gonna choose a favourites because there isn't that many in there. So I don't think it really be that fair. So I'm not gonna choose favourites, but I think I'll hopefully we've covered the fair couple of them there. But yeah, so a lot of iconic numbers there from various Winnie the Pooh featurettes. Oh, but that opening number, they really did miss a trick. You should have got them all on and done it like it was done in the song by Zoe Now. Alright, now it's time for the second episode I was really looking forward because it's the time for the character section. What we'll do for those four is I'll have Pluto bring them up one at a time and they can come and be with us. And for the others, I will use the storybook / program, whatever you want to call it, show you a picture of the other characters. Okay, so we have Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, Piglet. Those are the four that we'll bring up, and then we have Kangaroo, Owl, and Rabbit. So I think we could do is character book. Yeah, right. Can we do Piglet first, please? Piglet. Where are you going now? There you go, Piglet. Okay. Right, so we've got Piglet up first. Can I say, I love how Piglet here has been designed to look how he was in the show. Do a quick tour of some down Piglet. Because literally, this is how Piglet looked in the show, scarf included. I'm so envious of you, Piglet. I love a scarf. If I could wear a scarf all year round, I would. So I'm so envious of Piglet right now. I might have to nick that off here, Piglet. It's in my colour as well. Well, I'm gonna have to nick that off him. Yeah, Piglet. You did provide some very comical moments in the show involving the kite. When Piglet literally was clinging onto the kite and literally just got flown all across the stage. And at one point, even they looked like this. I know, not flattering. But it was. You weren't that timid as you normally are, Piglet, which is quite great. Because I think, yeah, when I see Piglet with a Pooh feature, and he spends most of the time being like this. I'm like, yeah, Piglet, we get it. You're not the bravest, alright? Move on. Okay, move on with that. But he didn't see Piglet do much of that most of the time. It was quite really great. He was less irritating than he normally is. Well, you listen to me. You listen to me. That's how I see him. No, but I thought it was okay, cat. Character. I did wonder, because Piglet is quite small, how's he going to be able to be seen on the stage? But actually, they did quite well. Same with Roo in the moment. I think I might do Roo next. Yeah, but even though Piglet did quite well. I think there was one moment when the actor had to sort of bend down with Piglet. It might have been when you were with Mrs. Winter. No, but it was quite nice to see. Yeah, so Piglet, you were quite an okay character. In fact, we'll do Roo next. Do you want to come back for any more? So I'll come back. Okay. Where do you want next? We'll save those two for the end. So, yeah. Okay, next we're going to do is Roo. So we find an image of Roo in the storybook. So you really are going to need to watch the YouTube version today, folks. You're missing out, exactly. But, so I'll give you a little quick look at Piglet. There you go. Spine. Let's find one of Roo. Okay. Right, there you go. So here's Roo. It was a bit big. Because when I saw the show, I was thinking, oh, Roo's ears that a bit big. What do you think? What? Do you think Roo's ears look a bit too big? Oh. I thought those ears were just a bit too big for Roo. It's like, I think if Roo wasn't wearing his iconic jumper, I would have probably gone, who the hell is that? Yeah, a bit like when Rabbit came on. Yeah. Yeah. Because you were like, what's that? It's Rabbit. Yeah. Yeah, but if Roo wasn't wearing his iconic blue jumper, I don't think I would have been able to tell that was Roo. I think his ears were a bit too... I think it made it look more like an aardvark. Do you see an aardvark? There was a children's show on CBeebies with aardvarks in them. Yeah, so I've seen one. But yeah. But Roo was so lovable. Again, like Piglet, he was quite a small character, so I was wondering how they're going to be able to do that for the stage. But in the end, it kind of worked out well. You just got to see his personality there. It was really, really lovable. And he just was, what a bounce he managed to pack in despite being quite a small character there. But I was about to say, if it was not for Roo wearing his blue jumper, I would not have had a clue that was Roo. Speaking of bouncers, can you bring up Tigger? Yeah. For you. You gonna Tigger? Here we go. Right, now with Tigger, I think it's really interesting. I think, because in the build-up to us going, I showed Pluto the Book of Pooh. Yeah. Showed you the Book of Pooh. I found it last year on Disney Plus. I thought, right, I'll show Pluto Book of Pooh. Get him. Because it's been yonks since I've watched Book of Pooh. I remember watching it as a kid. Matt Dawes did a Happy Meal range on it. I remember having a bit of cassettes of it. For you youngsters, that's what we used to have to play films and shows before DVDs. I'm very old. Shut up. Move on. You've got the cassette player, but they don't need to know that. So being Tigger here, and maybe on the stage as well, it kind of looks like how he is in the Book of Pooh, which I think is nothing wrong, but it kind of reminds me of the Book of Pooh. It was quite nice. Yeah, but Tigger, you were just so playful. You really were. You're just such a playful character, and whenever Tigger came on the stage, it was just like a ray of sunshine. Literally just bouncing all over the place. And it literally was just Tigger. You know, I talked about how I didn't really focus that much on the actors, because for me, when the character came on stage, it was that character. And the actor that did Tigger so got Tigger right. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, when you got Tigger's iconic number. You did most of the singing, Tigger. Yeah! Who knew? You did most of the singing. Because you got Whoop-de-Doo Bounce, you got your song in twice. So yeah, so you did most of the singing. Because Pooh had a lot of hums. So yeah, so you got to do most of the singing. I know! You can't believe it, can you? Yeah, it was so playful of him. It was just really lovely to have to get on there. So yeah. In fact... Alright, hold on! I forgot you being... Oh no, sorry. He did your job for you. Sorry, I was meant to be showing the storybook. Oh, there's one next to Roo. Right. Let's do Al. I've already told who you want off next after Al. Pooh. Okay. Let you have more time with Eeyore. We've already covered how I made that mishap when Al and Tigger, when they were coming on for their first scene. There we go. Here's Al. Now that creeped the hell out of me. Can I get away with saying that? Yeah, thank you. Literally, oh my god. That scared the hell out of me. It didn't look... What did you say? About Al? Oh, I said it looked like something from a horror film. It didn't look like Al. Yeah. I mean, because Al, seen in other Winnie the Pooh stuff, or it's film and TV, or the books, he's made to look more friendlier than that. I mean, I take one look at that and think, oh my god, I'm going to have nightmares before bed now. I mean, that's not... that. And of course, the children in the auditorium, and you got that coming on the stage, and the way Al makes his presence is like, wow, every time Al comes on the stage, he literally has to fly in. I'm like, oh, the first time it creeped me out, and oh my god, it's massive wings! His wings are so massive, oh my god. Literally, Al could literally take someone's eye out with those. They were that massive. It was like, oh my god, what is this? Yeah, it's like, oh my god. So it really was I was like, how is that supposed to be Al? I mean, I look at that and think, oh my god, here comes a child catcher. If you ever did it once of them burst a bang bang, we've got the child catcher for you right there. Ow! Yeah. So, oh my god, that was a scary thought. Oh my god. Luckily, I was not featured that much, but when we did come on the stage, oh my god, it creeped the hell out of me. Right. We technically should save the star for last, but I was desperate to make it Eeyore, so... Bring Pooh up! Bring Pooh up! There we go, Pooh. Not been you made him have a big head. I thought that. Right. Now, I've already covered that Pooh is featured pretty much 80% of the production. There's very, very rare. I'm trying to think back now. No, don't be I was going to try out either. I was going to say, can you remember any moments when Pooh is not featured on the stage? No, I can't remember them either. There were some, but not many. Yeah, it was very, very rare that Pooh was not on the stage. Pooh was basically there for 80% of production. Which wasn't a bad thing because the design of Pooh, oh my god, was absolutely spot on. I think absolutely spot on. The core 4 that we used for merchandise, they got the designs spot on. With Pooh's, it's so lovable, so cuddly, so friendly. And I think for me, that is my favourite design of them all. So it's not favourite character, because there is no favourite character today. There's no favourite character today. If there was, it certainly would not be out. Got in one! But in terms of favourite designs, for me, it's Pooh. Because it captured Pooh brilliantly. He's very so lovable, so friendly. And you just want to go, oh, every time he came on the stage. It's that brilliant. The merch here tries to capture that quite well. I think it's got a bit of a big head. Yeah, but it's just so... But it was just lovable. Every time Pooh came on the stage, you just wanted to go, oh. And depths as well. It's just... He went to, like, his characters, like, when he did exercise, like, up, down, what's the... And it was like humming like that. That was quite brilliant. That was a real funny moment there. He was quite lovable. So yeah, so I was quite glad they got the design of him spot on because, as I say, Pooh took basically the start of the show. Pooh took up 80% of the production time, so you had to get the design right. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. Look, show them all. Quick image of Pooh from the Glory Book. Look at that. Yeah, I'm loving how in the storybook you've got an up-close image of the character and there's another image of them. Well, that's quite fun. Right. Next is Rabbit. Now, we've already talked about how we think that Rabbit and Owl were designed to look how they were in the books. I'm going to show you the image of Rabbit in a moment. I can find it. Let's move. Well, that's child capture. There you go. Right. So, those of you watching the video version, have a look at that. Right. Now, if I was to show, if I was to do a box pop with this, and ask for what Winnie the Pooh character that is, how many of them do you think would know it's Rabbit? Because he looks very generic. I get the idea was it was supposed to be how Rabbit was styled in the books. Because in the books, Rabbit and Owl were made to look like actual woodland rabbits and woodland owls. I get that. But I don't think Pluto and I kind of recognised him when he came on the stage. We were a bit like, who is this? I don't think until Rabbit's name got spoken by one of the other characters, it might have been Pooh or was it Tigger? It's one of those two. It wasn't until Rabbit's name got spoken that I was going, oh, that was Rabbit. I thought it was the Easter Bunny come to give us all Easter eggs. It's a bit early. It's only July. Easter's not till probably April next year, maybe. Maybe March. I don't know. Plus, they could be watching the future. Could be, but we just bought. It's a bit early for Easter Bunny, isn't it? Don't know. But yeah, but he still had all of Rabbit's personality. And I think that's what really helped because if you haven't read the books or haven't seen Christopher Robin, which of course is the live-action film of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. You're not familiar with how that Rabbit looks, because obviously in most Winnie the Pooh media, Rabbit is yellow, and this looks more like an animated character, whereas on this he's actually like a proper rabbit. Yeah, so I thought if we didn't have Rabbit's personality in there, I don't think you would be able to tell that was Rabbit. But oh my, did he act the part. As soon as you can tell it was Rabbit, oh my, did he act the part. Okay, now in Pluto's eyes, we have saved the best for last. Yes! Are you gonna let me have it for myself? Or are you gonna be like, I'm staying with you? Literally, I tell you this now. When we went to before we were going, we were kind of like, right, I'd like a poo, Pluto would like an eel. And literally, it was the first bit. And literally, before we go to the cinema, the first bit you see me go to the shop, and Pluto straight was like, Aya! Okay. Oh, it's trust me, having on my own! Woo! Man, I thought it was going to stay with you. Hello, Eeyore! Doesn't he look amazing? Right, I'm going to take you guys a moment to appreciate the design that's gone on this. Because I feel this is the best. Because what's great about Disney West End Productions with the merch is they try to make the characters look like how they are in the show. And I think Eeyore here is the best one. Would you agree? Yeah. Eeyore is the best one out of all four that looks like how they are in the show. So I want to give you a little to appreciate that, and then we'll come on to Eeyore. Literally, whenever Eeyore came on the stage, it was just literally like, because Pluto just went berserk every time. He came on the stage, and Eeyore is he's just so lovable. He's just so cute and lovely. And again, his personality was literally captured beautifully. He just, every time Eeyore comes on the stage, he just makes you want to feel for Eeyore. He's just so lovable. Did you ever find your house in the end, Eeyore? Because I can't remember. Pluto? Did Eeyore ever find his house? I don't know. Poor Eeyore. But you go in our house now, Eeyore. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But yeah, he was so lovable. And what I really know about this Eeyore, is that the tail is not untouchable. I know. Are you showing his ass to the camera? Maybe. Sorry, no, it's not fucking. That's me. What I love is that, because most Eeyores that you can get, they normally have their tails untouchable. So I don't like that. I've noticed quite a lot of Disney Store ones over the years. I've had the tail where you can unhip it. No! We want Eeyore to have his tail on attack, because look, it's a lovely tail. Don't show his ass! Well, you should have left him alone with me then, should ya? Alright. Man, but he is so lovable, Eeyore. Literally every kind of say he was like, oh, here comes Eeyore. Literally try to steal the show. Because that's how I've always felt Eeyore, whenever I've watched the Winnie the Pooh movie. Eeyore always steals the show. How's Eeyore not had his own Winnie the Pooh movie? I know. How's Eeyore not had his own Winnie the Pooh movie? Because every single Winnie the Pooh movie that I've reviewed so far, I've made Eeyore the standout character. Because Eeyore's come in and stole the show. So, Tigger's had his own movie. Pigger's had his own movie. Even Rue's had his own movie. Why is Eeyore not his own movie? A movie for Eeyore, please. I think we'd love that. And I'll write a song to sing at the end credits. Yeah, but in terms of the show, Eeyore was absolutely amazing. He was so lovable. And I think we'll let you go back to Pluto. There you go. Right, and I'll just put each stage off. Show you in the storybook. Like that. Lovely. So guys, so those are all the characters. Like I say, we're not going to choose a favourite character because I don't think that'd be right. No, I don't think that would be fair. Plus, they don't all get a fair amount of time on the stage. So, I don't think it'd be right to pick a favourite character. Although Pluto's running the show, we all know what it would be, don't we? We do. As Pluto rightly said, if we were picking a favourite character from this show, it death would not be Owl. No way. No way. Yeah. So today we're not going to have favourite characters. because they're all lovely in their own unique way. Well, that's all we've got time for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, I'm going to let Tigger do it. Off you go. Go to the camera. GG Ben, shut off and out. Until next time, that's Showtime. Goodbye.